the attackers are so far away and they spend a little bit of time on it. I mean, we're already down to 120 on the clock, and they've only just taken the top 4. Great Kobe from IQ on Jaeger there.
And Oscar Moscow going down as well. And I believe that they are going to check. No, does end up falling right there to Jaeger. He's going to rotate around, see if he can catch out another. He spots out one, but he cannot finish the kill. Instead, it is going to be... He actually survives. Buck barely losing any HP there whatsoever. And it's all up to Mira and Castle left. Mira already tagged up quite significantly here, very low in HP.
This is going to be almost impossible for them to hold. Buck's going to take his time, open up all the 4, and just force them into super unfavorable positions.
So for all intents and purposes, we might be looking at a very quick victory here for the Swedes in the first round as attackers. Now moving forward, there still has not been any engagement for a little bit. 30 seconds left on the clock. Time is really ticking. Wait, was someone who got knocked down there actually? So they do make that effectively a 3 versus 1 now. It is going to be Mira who's knocked out there, so she can't actually do anything. Now they finally get the kill, and now it's all up to Sampo here on Castle. 22 rounds in the magazine, so even if he gets 1 or 2, then maybe he doesn't have enough ammo to get the third. He will have to swap over to that side on very, very quickly, but I mean, time is ticking. There it is. Even gets peeked out because there's someone holding the angle, and Sampo is going to fall, and that's actually a really decisive victory here for Be Legit in the first round.
Yeah, definitely, and above we had Buck, so even if both on site were to die, Buck would most likely be able to cover that fairly easily. But it's interesting seeing teams going for, I'm assuming, their second strongest site, like picking downstairs instead of upstairs to start with the hopes of, if you win that, you're mentally ahead a lot, because then you're going to your easier site on the second defense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really worth it if you win. It's not so much if you don't win.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a calculated risk that you're willing to take.
I mean, it's a gamble. You got to go with it sometimes.
With Chad.
Anyway, for this time, a little bit of a switch up here in terms of the defense. We are going to see smoke as part of it for the Swedes.
Okay.
On
Olivia.
the opposite side.
Oh, shit, I gotta see the name.
They are going to be throwing in Ash, Hibana,
Olivia's the one that went in
Thermite as
with,
their hard breach.
Keith
And
just now.
again,
And
see if we're going to have that Thermite curse. He's pretty much
I'm
always
right
the
here.
first guy to go down.
I wanna see him be one of the at least second last operators.
these two. Yeah.
It's always been like...
They were already on.
Yeah, exactly. Like because we've seen him just die as the first man in,
Yeah.
without even popping any of his Thermite charges.
We've seen them try
Olivia
to
quits.
like almost entry frag with Thermite, and
Yeah, like why is that a thing? Like
it's not the worst as long as you still have a gun, but it's just not necessary. You're
Her.
so much better off losing Twitch.
Interesting. I have her with the guy
Asher,
with now Michael.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah,
considering
that's
her
what
with
I'm
Clinton.
thinking as well.
That was one I'm not sure about.
these are actually some really cool.
That's like I think I made a mistake putting her with Michael. I think she's probably with Clinton too.
So it does have little peek
Oh,
in there
but you
towards the bottom floor. Now they're just going to be droning up here, see if they can find a decent point of entry. I believe that they've located the bomb as well, so they know where they are playing.
Gillette.
They're going to be cycling around. Nothing drastic going down just yet.
I have her
2
with
minutes
Joe.
on the round timer, so there's a lot of time to make something happen right now here for Motti on Gaming, who will have to take this round, of course, in order to equalize things 1-1.
They see Ella was sitting holding an
I had
angle
Jada,
to workshop in
Kareem,
case anyone tries to go below and open up the hatch and in
Shrek,
theory trying to
the
open a
Kareem.
mirror window that then isn't there.
Okay.
Because I don't
At least
fucking like it,
contemplating
but
kind of rotates
Shrek.
and also helps the people with B a little bit when they're playing with an open hatch. They only
Well,
have to
she-
worry
no,
about
he
one
did
goal
the big white
or
girl,
most
remember?
of the soft goals getting
She was
open.
big. So maybe that's valid.
Close to Barney.
I have Kiana
but she's not going to be stepping
with
forward. She's a
her
little bit.
with
Oh, wait,
Anthony.
who?
Mikulari getting...
Yeah, was that? Did he get? He get?
I think he got picked off by...
Because he was
Got down
also
by Hibana?
very down.
Yeah, there must have been a round coming through the wall then, because I don't think she actually had a direct line of sight to him.
Well, the mirror window is open, but it's just such an unlikely thing to happen to
Nicole?
be down for a mirror window instead of shot.
This girl.
If you're only hitting upper chest.
I have her with Keith.
Ah, yeah,
So do
no.
I.
Really? Yeah, I think they could
Point
be.
actually.
Nerys.
Been able to.
I
is a
have
big risk.
with
Yeah, they haven't actually been able to
Ethan.
get him up.
No,
Now they're
that's
going to
the
go
last
for it.
picks I had, so
No one actually to challenge that, so they will be able to revive their teammate. Oh, we do see that that is going to be Jaeger getting taken out early on right now.
Okay. I can see that.
Already losing one. Oscar Moscow with the
The
first
unsure
pick.
guy.
That was Bandit.
Oh yeah, pardon me. Jaeger.
They look
still.
like they go together though.
They're both yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
My eyesight is very.
Uche, I have with Tyler.
But they will equalize 4-4 now.
Ooh, I don't see that at all.
Never mind. Make that.
Compared to how much effort the defender spent on
So here's the
offense,
thing.
they lost it fairly
They
fast.
literally match
Yeah,
up people who you would have
and now, I mean,
no
I know.
If you look at the
Yeah.
HP here,
Alright, well, last
they're
one
very,
is
very
Zoe.
low. Smoke as well.
And
I don't know how many of his grenades he's popped though.
oh, I have it with
They
Shad.
only have
He's used all of them.
they only have 15 seconds, and they
I can see
drive
that.
the diffusers
He's
alone.
not gonna date any more than one person.
I mean, if he
This
gets
might-
if,
No,
if
but
he
she
loses
said
it,
that
he
she
actually
likes guys who
does
are
go
kind
down. So that
Yeah,
is the
she-
2v2. And yeah, I don't think
He's
there's
not
any
a
dick
dick.
now.
It's nice.
That was a
He's
great
cocky.
profile
He's
there.
not a dick.
Okay, never mind.
Like he was super nice with the other clingy
They
girl.
just go for it. They charge right in, and
I mean, it's the only thing they could do, but
Well, I want to go to the last.
really unfortunate there for
I wanna go to the
Be
last
Legit that they had both of the
pairing
last
they
remaining
had and
defenders.
see,
that was
who was
very
together.
close to being a defense victory. Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
very
they can do
close.
them
Like
all
really
back.
important
That's
because they
four
were both
matches
like
that we
stuck in that
guess.
room. They
Yeah.
couldn't really move out of it.
I know, but
It,
I
was,
hope we make it.
it comes down to the last few seconds of just gunplay.
Yeah.
There's not much.
But
Yeah,
also some
we
really
lost it.
decisive decision making there in
Yeah.
the end as well to commit in, because I mean when you do something like that, like you're
Well,
taking a risk
It's gas the map.
that you might just step into someone
What's it doing
upon
there?
like the line of fire from like even if you trade it one for
All right,
one.
let's go
If they just keep
to.
one guy alive as the time runs out, then
episodes.
that can be it.
Which one do they have?
And with
4
obviously
or
Google
7
like
or
that
8?
to enter that
It was the last
room,
one, right?
If both of them come through, then you can just lose.
Or did
one.
they even show
So,
ceremony
well,
last
it's
week?
1-1 now.
In season 8,
And,
episode 8?
That's one of your issues when you start running low on time as an attacker.
So it was
you have
episode
to
7 that they
make
had the big one?
some rather funky decisions.
Yeah.
You can't really base them on too much info because the info has changed since last time you gathered it. Seems like we're gonna rehost.
Ah, yeah, okay. I mean, we did this a couple of times last time, and it was like
Are
no
you
issue.
ready for it?
Worked out
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah.
The only thing that's reset, guys, is of course the score at the very top.
I'm getting hungry. What do you want to do for
But,
lunch?
make a mental note of that one. It's
I know what you
1-1
can
right
do.
now between these two teams.
At least that's easy to remember.
I've even written it down.
That's great.
I've made that a habit, man. I've started to just like take notes in games.
Yeah. So the start of the basement defense, or not the basement, sorry, the ground floor defense. That's always a really difficult pick for the in-game leader to choose. Do you gamble your worst site first
So just when you get
and maybe throw them off because they're. It's the same if you
so
you have a
Wanna go
certain
back a
setup to
little?
attack the top floor, right? You have a certain setup to attack ground floor.
no, you gotta go
That
forward
might affect
without
your
seeing
operator
the
pick.
Well, it never shows them all
You
sitting
gamble
there.
that
That's
they
the
make a
thing.
mistake that then
So
affects their strat,
section by
making
section.
them less likely to be set up to counter your strat, but also play the bomb site that
Like when
you're
it goes to
not as
them.
favorable on.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or do they just prefer the lower one? It's a fun little mechanic in Siege as well. With instead of us having like economy and stuff, as you have in
Okay, we
CS,
got
for
some
example, we have
Did not
like bomb economy.
Where's the
Yeah,
pen?
like because you can kind of view the
That's my pen. I've
selection
been
of the
using
sites that you have initially.
Yeah.
Give me the
in
pen.
game as you know,
I
like,
need to write down
I
who's
mean, if you
who.
win it, it's blocked until
Give me the fucking pen.
next round.
yeah, exactly.
And if you lose it, it's still open.
Here, shut
But
that
you don't want to
up.
keep forcing the same thing over and over again if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we don't see a lot
Why? Like, why
of
do
teams
you
that
have
just
to do
keep
that?
switching either.
No, because like if you get away with
Alright.
it, as you say, like on one of the
That's
road
Uche.
defenses,
Ooh,
like
she's
down in
with
the basement
Michael.
or on the
Okay,
ground
so-
floor,
Uche with Michael.
Well, in this
effectively
situation.
should give you.
Wait, I want to see if they got 4 beams this episode or
Not
not
only
before I do
that,
this.
Next
but it
round.
gives you
Remember,
the confidence to
36,
be able to
55.
play
Yeah,
stronger
exactly.
or like easier to defend sites.
And especially if you end up,
rounds.
if you start on defense, you win your weakest defense first. You then go on to win your attack. That's a
Commercial?
huge confidence boost because now you're going on to your strongest defense.
Exactly.
Which
and then,
means that in all theory, you should be up 3-0.
yeah, and then from there,
That gives you some
Two.
leeway to make some mistakes,
yeah,
right? And
exactly.
take
And
some
then like
chances.
when you have that kind of score lead, even though you end up dropping around, like even if it's
3. Okay, this has to be the one that they got 4 then.
if you manage to almost get a win on as attackers on the defenders,
Okay.
if they're on like a very
Alright,
easy to
we got
defend side,
Michael.
that should favor them, and you're like it's a close round, but you end up losing it anyway, then you probably shouldn't feel all too bad about
Well, I'm just
that.
gonna write them all down.
Because then
You
you can
also
just
gotta be
you can
careful,
just like reset mentally, like yeah guys, like we'll
Well, you
Get the
gotta
next point on
you
defense.
kind of got to be a bit careful as well because
I was
being
writing down the
4-0,
who matched
sure,
up
you're
this
only
one.
1 round away from winning, but you're also only 4 rounds away from like being even again.
Yeah,
right?
that's
it,
true.
It really like Siege is
It's-
very quick to reset.
It's
Kareem.
how do I put it? I mean, it's obviously a big thing, like I think across the board
What's
in
her
all
name?
competitive esports games, that like overconfidence can really backfire hard.
Yeah.
But I think that it's very much so more evident in a game like Siege.
Yeah, it can be really hard to read if people are starting to win because they're being super confident, or if they're losing because they're super confident.
Yeah, I mean
Because-
we've seen both.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
we've had a couple of
I
turns.
mean, we saw a 4-0 comeback to a 6-4 in that was I think one of the first days we had.
I think that's.
Oh yeah, that was but that was you and
That was me and Panky, I think.
Yeah.
Panky and you.
and that was the no, never mind. That was I was thinking of a
It's hard
different
to
game.
see.
But
who they win.
that seemed like it should have been a straight up victory. Like
Yeah,
they
like
were
exactly. Like we
stomping
get a
through
couple of those
everything,
games where you're just
Yeah.
like they're actually coming back. We're like,
Yeah.
we had a couple of 4-1s and 4-2s. Pardon me, 5-1s and 5-2s last week.
Kiana? That's
Where there
Kiana?
were a few rounds that, like, even though on the losing side, if you just look at the overall standings
Or is that
of those
Tobias?
games, like, yeah, that was a crush.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we dissect some of the individual rounds, they were actually way closer than what the final score, shows us.
yeah, like a 5-0 doesn't necessarily have to be a stomp.
No, exactly. Like, it's important to sort of look into the rounds themselves, but it looks as if we're back in the game here, and the score is actually still set to 1-1, which is a nice little change. So
Yeah.
keep
Graphic
reminding you
update
guys.
there.
Like it.
Same attack lineup now, and
They haven't changed anything, have they?
they have a Valkyrie on defense instead of a bandit.
Oh, okay, so that's the swap then. Right, but otherwise, Ela, Smoke, Mira.
But they did choose to go upstairs this time.
Okay, so actually change the bomb site defense as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this one, like in these kind of situations, like where you swap things over? Because the round hadn't even really had too much time to start there previously.
I think it all depends on your team mentality and your in-game lead.
Next time,
There's
show
two
me
different
that.
ways.
Is there like a deliberate decision?
Well, yeah, but there's two
I
different
know.
ways of telling your team it. Like,
Who's that?
you can say, okay, we have to go the other place
Come here, I
because
need your
the
help with
other
this, please.
time didn't work. Or you
I need
can
to see who these people are. It's hard to
say,
see them.
okay, let's try and swap stuff up. We'll come back to the other
It's
one.
not the right computer.
Let's just play our
Oh,
strong one, our
see it.
default, and then we go back and we try something to throw them off afterwards.
Wait,
That's
wait.
Alexa.
I'm really curious now because Ela, what did she throw out?
Sorry.
If you're Elamine on the
Yeah, like on the
roof.
ceiling outside.
Yeah.
That's
So if the
definitely
guy
right.
tries to push her fast on the door, he's
That's
gonna be stuck
Kiana.
in the-
Okay. That is actually so sick. That I haven't seen before. That is super cool.
And the strong thing about it is it limits your sensitivity, right? So your turn speed is getting drastically limited.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have no time to flick over and
No.
try to stop like whoever's peeking out on you there.
Quick pick from Valkyrie.
Oh,
Bok. That's a rather important pick early in the round as well.
yeah. With that, again, like another one of these. I mean, I wouldn't really. Would you consider Buck a hard breach because he doesn't have the? He's only got the shotgun, like the master key.
No, but Buck is only ever really used to remove floor.
Yeah. So
Sometimes some wall, but his main goal is to either shoot up through the floor or down through the floor.
kind of interesting actually because they're on attack. They only have the 2 hard breaches then.
This is Lars' second nade kill in 3 rounds.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. That's what has me most perplexed is like, where does he find them? Has it been the same area of the map?
No. The first one was in by A. Not sure where he picked this one up.
Oh well, okay. They've located the bomb. Moving forward now, let's see if they can find something there. The idea that they are very close by. There we are. With thermite fuse, or pardon me, the thermite charge has been going off. Aggressive peek comes out here from
I
Mira.
want to look at myself.
Spots out the barrel, but with the drop shot, is going to win out on that duel.
This is what I mean by, like, you get the wall open with thermite and then you use him to push. There's no point in having him cover anything. He's a perfectly fine, aggressive player.
Oh, you need less.
He can't rotate as fast as Asher Hibana or IQ, for example, so let them be the ones playing in that, like, the outskirts of the map.
Hibana knocking out that mirror window there. Make it a little bit harder now for the defense. Oh wait, is that another grenade?
That is a third one.
No way! What?
They're cooked to perfection.
Just that could have, for all intents and purposes, been an impact grenade. But now it is a 2-on-2. Decent kill coming in from Elo once more, but only 10 seconds left. The diffuser has been planted just now. 2 versus 2, man. Pressure is on. Time is ticking. He spots one out and is going to get the capitalizing kill. Now it's all up to this one. Never mind, they actually wipe him. That's it. Ela comes in with the flank and needs to locate the diffuser, and that's going to be the round.
It was a pretty good setup for an Astle plant. They got picked off by Pekin, unfortunately. Having maybe one drone left and then only fighting them when they're actually going for the diffuse would leave you in a 2v1 instead of a 2-1v1s.
That peek from the window.
Yeah, it's not necessary, but I mean, it's hindsight. If he got the kill, we would have thought it was an amazing play, right?
True. But I mean, you can still, like, even in that kind of situation, say that, you know, maybe you can just overall play a little bit safer. I don't know how do you feel about that one.
No, I completely agree. Like the right play is not necessarily the play that makes you win.
Yeah. That's actually a really good way to put it. I really like the way that you look at it that way.
You gotta look at your games over a long period of time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
because like only having a single instance, it doesn't necessarily tell you anything concrete.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not gonna be able to pull your 1v4 clutch off most of the time. That's something that happens.
I have the 4.
Very rarely.
I have the
It's
match
amazing,
for
but
4.
it's not something that you can dictate what
Is
happens.
it really gonna help us?
No, exactly, and that's what makes it amazing.
You know that
It is
4
one of
is a
these
threat. So if you don't have 4 of these
heat
matches
of the
on your
moment.
side, then you're not.
Yeah.
situations that arise sometimes.
The freak accident
Michael
for the
and Uche.
attackers, or for the losing team.
Yeah.
And then an amazing
Kareem
piece
and Maurice,
for the guy who pulls it off. But it's just important to remember
Anthony
that
and Kiana.
sometimes the right play will lose you the round,
Kiana
but
and
it's still
Anthony.
the right play.
Yeah, no, like, I actually really like you just like
Audrey and
mentioning that,
Chad.
because I think that to so many people out there,
Nicole and
regardless of whatever game it is,
It's very easy to look at a one round and then
yeah, be like, yeah, well, you
No,
lost the round, so obviously it was the wrong play.
yeah,
But
it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Ethan and Jada.
and I think
There's
especially,
something-
that's especially true in a game like this.
Yeah, definitely.
Heath and Zoe.
There are just some things that you
I don't
can't
see backwards.
really do too much about,
I'm gonna switch those.
and on the other hand, there are some things where you try and do something you shouldn't. It might
Joe
work.
and Alexis.
Like you might make the wrong play and then still get 2 frags.
Malcolm and Olivia.
Okay, so one of the roamers,
Clinton and Celeste.
very, very aggressive there. Dropping down the hatch, you can see that he was trying to like snap around and see if he could catch anyone out. But not going to find any purchase
And then
with
Dimitri and
that.
Yana.
I'm not entirely sure where we have him
I have none of those
gone off
matches.
to now.
I don't think I did either thing.
But again, a bit of a slow start here for the attackers. Off to on gaming. They haven't really made a decisive just yet. But they decided to pull the trigger on this. Again, I'm not even 100% sure if they've actually located the bomb yet.
Alright.
See that they're droning the entire bottom floor. They're trying to see if they can find any roamers, but again, like I said, it's going to be a very slow start for them. They're going to do this in a very slow, methodical way. Kind of similar to how the Finns like playing out in Counter-Strike as well.
I really like seeing defenders play like super defensive and just burn down the time.
I already see a couple lines that I think are good.
Here, can I send you that?
Just write them down.
Okay.
I don't want to see.
So none of these are matching.
I mean, it's stacking up now. Here it is coming through. Gonna pop a couple of these charges.
You wanna
So
take a picture of
making
it?
breach
Well,
happen.
I don't want you to put yours out.
And again, this is one of these
I'm
games
not gonna
where
look up yours.
we've only got one minute left, and now finally we have the first kill come in.
There's a lot of pressure on the attackers now. Even though they're in a 5v4, they're burning time really fast now.
Yeah, they've only got
Make that a 5v3.
He
50
just seemed
seconds.
to.
Yeah.
She like
Even
was
now, so
not
man
interested in
advantage.
him
Make that a
whatsoever.
5v2, man. It's all up to Jaeger and Ela now. Can they do it? I mean, the fact that they haven't lost a single man
You know
on
what?
the attacking side and the diffuser goes down, they will have to pull out one of these crazy plays, man.
Yeah. But this is also when it becomes completely okay to take all the chances that you would otherwise never take, because now everything's already gone wrong, right? So they're expected to lose a round like this, and that allows you to pretty much anything
Tyler and Nicole.
to try and pull it back.
Dude, and
1v3 now, and I really love this Ash playing behind that electric box on the roof there, so she's not going to be exposing herself.
Alexis and
Moving
Joe,
forward,
which
it's all up to
they're
Side,
not.
but he's not going to have a chance, and
No,
that's going to
that's
be the
key.
third round on the board here.
This is
Joe
a
and
perfect
Alexis
after
do
plan
that.
as well.
Gaming. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see in the
Joe
previous
is the
round,
long-haired
Yeah,
where we
guy.
had the Swedes defending.
You peel
And
off,
Alexis
shoot a
is the
little. If you don't
crazy-
kill him instantly, well then you go back because he's gonna worry about you peeking back, right? And you keep playing whack-a-mole, where every time he looks at you, you're hiding, and your teammate fires. He has to look over there. Well, then you peek again, and it doesn't even matter. You don't never have to kill him.
You just juggle him.
Yeah, he doesn't have time. Like it's like kiting in
Yeah,
old school
Michael
games.
and
that's,
PJ.
yeah, kind of. I mean, the principle is the same.
Oh shit.
Pretty straightforward, to be honest. Like, sure, they waited at the time, but once they made contact,
Wait, who is
You'll often see
Anthony and
people
Kiana?
be a little bit too
Do you have
worried.
their-
This is the good thing about this
Oh,
level of
okay.
play, was that they hopefully don't care about how many kills they get. That's not the important thing. But
can I just tell you that I hate people like that when I play Siege myself?
yeah, it's
Like people who only talk, like they look
doesn't
at
matter
your
having
stats and...
doesn't matter having 15 kills if you lost the game.
No, exactly.
And
But those are the only kind of people I get in my game so far.
but all I mean,
When am I going to get out of that?
in 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be alive by then.
When you have a team that's
Jade is the
way
big
more
black girl.
balanced in terms of kills, that also means that you're playing way more as a team, right? You're allowing each other to set up these crossfires, and no one is being that overly aggressive one that I want this kill, and then peeks out and makes a mistake, and the other one
Do you
goes,
have the
"Oh, I
look?
can get it."
Yeah,
And all of a sudden you just lost a 1v3.
yeah, exactly. It's super messy sometimes, but honestly, I think especially in some of the teams, like Motti again, because I mean they played her in the first season, mixed results in that one, but I think that they, for all intents and purposes, have actually done a pretty damn good job in playing as a team, especially in some of these post plants.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
They seem to be one of the more disciplined teams.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like all of the teams definitely know their basics. They're all good players, but it comes down to these tiny little moments of discipline and experience.
Look at that, Sampo getting the first, and that's the buck taken out.
It's also very risky and sneaky play because you're sitting there looking up through the hatch. You're in theory in a pretty bad spot to fight someone. But
Yeah,
if you get the kill, it's
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like, it's obviously a calculated risk because if he gets spotted out but doesn't get the kill,
Yeah.
they know exactly where he is and you won't have any time to readjust.
but quick trade though. Both Castle and Ella picked off now.
I think especially Ella at this stage, quite nice to get that kill. 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
A good rule of thumb is if you're having one roamer, wasting 1 minute is enough. If you're having two roamers, you have to waste 2 minutes.
Okay, I've never really heard that sort of thought process. So you think like 1 minute per roamer?
Yeah, because otherwise you're making it too easy to get to site.
Ah, okay.
But you can also look at it like if you waste 1 minute or if you get one frag.
It has to be one of the two.
It is often more favorable being defender when you have low player count, because you know where they have to go. As an attacker, you don't know where they have to sit.
I mean, that being said, you can see it actually reflected right there. Frau is going to get another one. Now, it has turned into a 2v2, and there's actually still a fair amount of time to play with for the attacking side.
Look at this Jaeger drop. They have no idea yet. They only just found out now. So he wasted a good 20 seconds after getting a kill by just leaving. They don't just want to YOLO.
Apparently, the
Now
mic's
they're afraid
on.
of dropping.
Alex is
He's
like
still
listening
alive.
to. He's like, what the fuck are you guys
Oh.
talking about?
He won a lot
I need
of
to
time.
switch
They
this
can
one.
stay alive down there.
Oh, come on.
Super favorable.
Wait, don't you have that in your
Not
computer?
going to be spotting them out. Oh, I think
No, but
she's
it's
one. Yes.
Okay, well,
It
let
will,
me do
but
it first
actually
and
ends up
then
going
I'll do
down
it.
in that duel.
Hi, Alex.
Twitch falling. It's all up to only a single man
Mirror
left
main
standing.
shotgun?
Drops down
Amazing.
into her death, and that's going to be the 4th round here for Motti on gaming.
That is very rare to see a
I need the fucking
mirror
mouse.
on a shotgun. instead
Fucking
of a-
mouse. I'm gonna cut you.
That's a very interesting
You know you can hear it, so he's gonna witness a murder.
decision there. For
Can I at least?
No, holy shit.
What's the purpose of?
Well, it's
making-
pretty cool having 2 shotguns, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, like, sure you can open up the map, but
I feel
you
like my phone
handicap yourself in terms of
chose
reach.
to be the ones
If
that are
she's
actually
playing-
the same.
If she's playing on site and she plays the right spots and angles, then it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Is it, but
You
but I
just
think
often
isn't that
see-
like
Well, you often see Mira use, you know, her mirror windows to get these quick peeks with the Vector on long range because it shoots so fast. But if you don't have a smoke shotgun or if you don't have an echo or anything else, you don't necessarily want to waste impact nades to make all your rotates. And I don't know, like her secondary shotgun might be just used for reconstructing the entire map, and then she wants another one to shoot people as they drop hatches. Pigeon shooting up, I don't know. It's a very special pick, especially when you look at something like Smoke and Echo, who have amazing main shotguns, and then a really good secondary SMG.
I mean, like I kind of feel as if it is almost a little bit over ambitious.
Good. If you're really good with shotguns, then
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like yeah, like if you're the equivalent of someone like Scream, but in Rainbow Six, then yeah.
with shotguns, yeah.
But
I mean, shotguns are super strong in Siege, but they're very situational. If you're the
exactly,
last
like,
one left
and
alive.
that's why I feel as having that utility with Mira on the SMG would have maybe been better. But obviously, like, don't.
Mute missing the Twitch drone in the barbed wire. That could.
Wait, it was just sitting there, like.
Yeah, that could hurt them later.
You know what they say, right? Like, it's
You can't see the Twitch drone in the forest of barbed wire.
eyes wide shut, man.
Fair enough.
Okay, still no kills or trades coming in just yet. We're in the 6th round. We're currently at map point here for Motti on Gaming. One more round is all they need, and they have all the hard reaches in the world. Hibana, we have the Ash, we also have the Thermite, but we're actually going to end up losing their Twitch there, so...
Oh, this is the big pants. Not worth the barricade.
Oh, yeah, you made...
You're-
They heard him, so he just goes for it, and...
Yeah, but also when you're that alone, it's most of the time it's just safer just to leave or just to stay on your gun. People are gonna hunt you down. It's good to see Mute being played there. He's
oh yeah, pardon me. No, that's
in my eyes very underused.
I believe we did see him a fair amount in the first season, like in a couple of the initial early rounds, like in the
Yeah.
group stage, but...
A map like Bank, for example, he is very
Yes,
strong.
yes, like, you're absolutely right. Haven't seen Bank yet, actually, for this season, have we? I don't know if you had Bank in the first week, but for you and me now for these 2 weeks we've been
I
doing...
don't think
We haven't had Bank. It's mainly been Border and, like, Oregon.
Actually, did we? I can't remember.
It's 3v4 right now, by the way, and be legit with a man advantage.
On match point on attack, 3v4, 2v4.
Yeah, that's
Making some good work of the Mute.
and that's the diffuser going down as well. So with 50 seconds left, I don't know how much time they have completely flashed out, but
And with the Mute jammers placed correctly now and Switch dead, their intel gathering is gonna be non-existent.
and here it is that you've been talking about so much. You know, we're seeing here the strength of having Smoke. He can just stall out. Every single one of those grenades is representative for roughly, what is that, 15 seconds apiece?
Well, they're 10 seconds, but you're not gonna instantly run when they start fading.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So I mean, what is it you said? Roughly 15?
you can think about 45 if you have 3 smokes left.
Yeah.
Then you should be able to stack it up to 45 seconds. Because people wanna they gotta get up close to the door and then run in. So if you throw the smoke a little bit outside the door, well then if they want to run in, there's this like little time gap, right?
But then again, like you also have the threat of as you come through the smoke, because smoke does obscure your vision. It'll be a little harder to track targets right as you come through, so that could also be like another opportunity for them to just pick you off.
Yeah. Plus there's the lighting difference if you have
Yeah, that's true.
if you have a
On top of that, and the damage, like so, there are so many factors that are gonna like deter you from.
yeah. But also running into smoke completely obscures your vision, but people can see you inside the smoke fairly easy.
Ah, okay,
If
so
there's
it's a
like
it becomes like a
backlight.
little bit of a one-way.
Yeah.
Kind of thing going on.
As long as you're inside it, because you get blinded when you start getting into like the outskirts of the smoke grenade, where you can't see anything but your character's still fully visible. Because, like, look at it like you're getting smoke in your eyes, right? You, you'll be like half obscured for the people looking into the smoke, but you won't be able to see anything yourself.
So we are actually seeing a little bit of a switch up here in terms of the selected operators. Capitao added into the mix.
Capitao in change for a Hibana.
Yeah, and I'm curious about this, right? Like, because Capitao, as far as I'm concerned, throughout both of these seasons so far, we haven't really seen him pick ball too much. He's, again, another one of those very situational operators.
I think he's actually one of the best in terms of execute operators, but
what is it that, like, why would you pick him over, you know, another hard breacher here, for instance?
well, so the setup they have now, they have a Ying and a Cappy, which are both very execute heavy. They're generally used to block off the site and get your plant down. So you don't want Hibana in that necessarily, because you're not planning on opening a whole lot. You want to get to somewhere, get one wall open, smoke and molly off some stuff, throw some flashbangs through, and then go for your plant. And that's where Capitao really shines. Like, you throw your molly into a doorway far enough out on the opposite side of the doorway that if they peek, they start taking damage, and a Miro can burn before she can get her C4 off, if it's placed correctly. So you can lock people in positions that they're gonna die if they want to get out of them.
So you would say that, like, Capitao is added into the mix if you want to have a more control-heavy kind of composition?
Yeah, you could kind of call him like a CC.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
he is crowd control.
It's really interesting. I like this because we just had a discussion just like before we started about like a little bit about World of Warcraft and stuff. So
Yeah.
So
You can also see the places being played now on the vent unit. The only thing you can do from there is molly off the door and smoke off the door as well. So we're most likely going to see him throw one or two smokes through and then a molly. So you're not going to see, or an asphyxiation ult, sorry. So we're not going to see them throw too much C4 at them.
1 minute left.
There you
1
go
minute
with
20 seconds left. Pardon me.
There you
Plus
go with the
ult.
asphyxiation bolts.
No one going down. Pardon me. There we already have one kill. The flashbang comes through as well, but there is going to be a massive amount of trading going on right now.
And they haven't taken care of the Jaeger downstairs, so the defuse is currently dropped in a place where the Jaeger can fight back.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit of a messy one. 3 versus 3 now. Diffuser will go down. Be legit. In control. They will find another kill. There's going to be Sampo falling. You know, it's all up to Jaeger and Ela, but it is going to be a 2v2. There is the equalizer. Time is ticking, but there's a man outside again, playing on that E-box. Oh, misses the peak opportunity. 2v1 now, and this might just be the round for Be Legit. No, he's going to make that a 1 versus 1. Wait, never mind. Wait, what? Did he actually get him on that snapshot through that corridor? Oh my god, I completely missed that. That's insane.
That's a GG.
That's so sick. Great clutch coming in there from
You also
Lubo.
see the strength of Hibana's hipfire. That gun is amazing.
I thought that when he peeked over through that window, like down that long corridor, that he only like tagged him up.
No, that was Jaeger jumping out on the behind him.
Yeah,
From office.
yeah. Okay, so that was really messy.
Yeah,
So
but it was a quick
but
cleanup from.
yeah, but great
Multi.
clutch.
Yeah,
Great clutch.
Multi again showing a bit more strength on border than the other teams have so far.
It's that was a 2v1 at the end as well, that he managed to.
No, it was 2 defenders winning against
you're
one
actually right.
attack
Yeah, I
with
was
the
like,
diffuser down. There was a 2v2.
I mixed that up.
and getting changed. Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm not too sharp today, man.
But
I think maybe it's like it's the heat in the studio getting to me.
It is hot, definitely.
But you don't look affected by it at all, as if you're like completely unfazed. What is it? Is it the?
I'm faking it.
There's
It's
like
a trick.
not even a single like polo. So anyway, that's going to be the 5-2 victory here for Motion Gaming. And again, I think that the final scoreline can be a little bit deceiving because some of these rounds still looked a little bit closer than
Yeah,
what you would
without a doubt. But
necessarily say. Because Be Legit, they actually put up a pretty good fight.
yes, but Multi seemed to have more discipline in the rounds where it counted.
Yeah, like that's the thing that that stands out. Like like I said there,
Attacking at the same time, holding your crossfires, not
coordination and
leaking.
communication seem to
Yes.
be a little bit better as
Yeah.
well.
And a minor improvement in that on one team can show a huge difference in terms of outcome.
Yeah,
Like a really big difference.
no, absolutely. And again, you know, I'm glad to see that they're back here for this season.
Yeah.
And already, like, in the group stage itself, I believe they're going to be at a 5-2.
That sounds about right, yeah.
They're going to be 5-2 in terms of wins and losses,
They, in
whereas...
theory, have a chance of making it to line as far
Yeah,
as
but
I
because if
remember.
you compare them to the group stage of last season, like at this stage, they were at like a 4... Was that like a 4-2 or 4-3, something like that? It was like looking a lot closer in terms of wins and losses for them. So already the result is better.
Well, it's good to see improvement on teams. Like that's
Yeah, I
that's
know,
how we
like-
get a better competitive environment, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Sticking together, fighting it out.
it's great as well because, you know, it sets things up for like any future seasons we have of this, and
Yeah.
because then we can across the board, like you said, again coming back to, you can't only look at a single round or a single game and say like this is the current state of things, but
Yeah, no, you
when we
gotta
get-
look at the broad spectrum.
yeah, exactly, and like this is a great way for us to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But with that, that is going to be the victory again for the Finns. We're going to take a quick break once more before we come back with, I think, what is going to be the final game here tonight.
Yes.
As we had the first one, I'm not even sure that took place, sadly. But we're going to jump over to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be right back, guys, with the final game for tonight.
Nu har det blivit lättare. Lättare att få high score. Lättare att kolla på en match. Lättare att chilla. Lättare att gilla. Lättare att plöja en hel säsong. Och framförallt, ännu lättare att njuta av den goda smaken. Estrella lättare. Mindre fett. 100% god smak.
What if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games.
Nu har det blivit lättare. Lättare att få high score. Lättare att kolla på en match. Lättare att chilla. Lättare att gilla. Lättare att plöja en hel säsong. Och framförallt, ännu lättare att njuta av den goda smaken. Estrella lättare. Mindre fett. 100% god smak.
What if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games.
Straight it up. He's not going to find a second. Whoa! Well done right now.
CK as well. Great triple kill coming in my board.
These cycles are doing so much damage. The best. A couple of points. Pester do go down, getting a 4 as well.
Let's see now he gets one kill. He's going to go.
There it is. Hey guys, and welcome back to Rainbow Six Siege here in the Nordic Championship Season 2. Caught ourselves a little bit of a breather there. Turned into a pretty good game, like all in all.
Yeah.
But we're going to be heading off into the next one. Quantire versus New Meta.
Yes.
Denmark versus Denmark.
Denmark versus Finland.
Denmark versus...
Oh, no. Is it Quantire versus
Yeah, it's
New Meta?
Quantire. Denmark
Sorry.
versus Denmark.
Sorry, that is my bad.
Your countrymen.
Yeah. That's
Does that...
it's going to be interesting.
How do you feel about that? Like, whenever you watch Danish teams play, do you have any bias to them? Or is it
No.
like whatever?
As long as it's a good game, I generally don't really care what team wins. And that goes for all the games.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, I just want to watch a good game. Hopefully the
You have your
better
heart in the
team is
right
gonna-
place, man.
Well, hopefully the better team is going to win, and they might not win the next game. If you play 10 games in a row, it might be 5-5 or something, but it's only this game that counts, right?
That's
So
fair.
as long as the games are good and the sportsmanship is there, then
That's all you need?
Yeah.
I like it.
but I'm not sure those teams look at it the same way.
No, of course not, man. It's I can imagine that to a certain extent, as much as we have these rivalries going on between all of our warring nations here
Yeah.
in the Nordic Championship, I think that to a certain extent, even more so, you might have that kind of rivalry between two teams representing the same country,
Definitely. If I'd be surprised if not.
right?
Yeah. If you're playing against people from your own country, you want to win. You want to be just a little bit better.
Yeah, and you
It
feel the same
matters.
way, right? If you're playing
Yeah.
versus Danish.
Well, if I'm playing, then I want to win.
exactly.
That's
like,
it. Doesn't matter who it's against.
Because for me, in my experience, like if I know I'm playing a Swede in whatever game, I'm like,
Yeah.
I kind of want to.
It feels good.
It's a little bit different.
There's a certain amount
It's a
of
different flavor
joy
to it.
to it. Yeah.
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 I'm glad that we're on the same page.
So, can we get the roster up for Quantire and New Meta?
Can we?
Do we have that?
Do we have that, guys?
No.
No.
We do not.
Okay, but
we will take
uh,
the game.
what about the map? Can we get that?
No.
No.
Well,
Well,
gonna be
can we get a fan in the studio?
the
No.
map is Oregon.
We got the map, but we didn't get the fan.
No. We'll have to do with Oregon.
Yeah, but no, I'm fine with that, man. Like,
That's a good map. That's one of the ones that are developed.
yeah, for me, Oregon is like the Dust 2 of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. It's a map that was played so much that people were complaining about watching it back in
Oh, man.
season 1, 2, and 3.
That's so funny to me. Like when the viewers have had enough.
Yeah, they don't want to watch more Oregon, but at least the new operators changed it now. Like you can do some things in Oregon that you couldn't before, and it's not as one-sided as it used to be. Basement defense used to be a thing you couldn't lose.
I mean, we've seen some pretty solid defense still on that map, and again, smoke added into the mix. Color me surprised.
We see a Valkyrie though, which is not something you normally see. But
What is the
they're
intent
playing.
with that?
Okay, they're playing top floor, so that changes things.
Okay, never mind.
That
Because I was just like right away expecting a basement defense.
yeah, me too. But top floor is definitely also a super strong side.
Look at that, they're adding in Blackbeard.
Yes.
We had Blackbeard in one round. Yeah, one round
Yeah, we saw him last week.
of all of last year, but that was only in a single round. But it was on this
It's a
map.
shame. I love him.
And we actually had this like really sick play on the outside of the what is that going to be in relation to where we are? Like just to the left here of the attic, one guy was scaling the wall to the north of that.
Yeah. Out by Big Tower.
Yeah, and they were using another guy on the other side as bait, so that whenever if there would be a peek from attic, the guy scaling the wall could get the shot right in.
Oh yes,
Do you remember that?
Yeah, and then they had a guy. They had a guy repelling on the kids' window. They had a guy
yeah,
top
exactly.
tower looking into attic, and they had a guy on top of attic covering the runouts.
Yeah, so there were actually 3 people.
Yeah, they got a 3-man
working on that.
like crossfire, everyone backing each other up to try and get that one pick. I think that was even a Capitao on the window, and an Ash on top of attic.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what operators had, but it was just you know, like a really nice tactical setup.
But I might be slightly biased about Blackbeard, but I always get happy when I see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Maybe
that.
he has a deagle. Come on. It
Okay, you know
doesn't
what?
get
That's
much cooler than that.
like that's something that I really like about this game. The different kinds of weapons that you have. Like some of them make sense, some of them not so much. Like having a Desert Eagle.
It makes absolutely no sense, but I
I love it, man.
Yeah, it's like
You know, it's like when you saw The Matrix the first time and Mr. Smith brandishes the Desert Eagle. You're like, damn, you know. Same kind of.
it's gonna put a little bit of smile on your face.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
it's like a big manly gun. 50 caliber. How much damage does it do in game? Like, is there one?
No, it's not. It's not
Is it like a 2-shot maybe?
We don't have any one-shot guns in Siege except headshots,
Headshots,
and then
yeah.
everything's a one-shot.
I'm trying to remember if there are any weapons that don't chill.
Smoke first
Oh,
pick.
okay, yeah, that's actually a and that was a wide peak coming in as well from
We call that sleep window because there's like a sleeping bag right next to it.
oh. Yeah, but many trades coming through here. 4v2, 2v3, and they will find some of these equalizers. Now Valkyrie's going to get trapped here in attic and taken out. Not expecting someone to be on that far end, so now.
That was quite the risk bringing the diffuser through attic because if you drop that there, it's so easy to keep.
Yeah, but
Talking about
yeah,
that.
look at that. It does go down, just as you say. Cast the curse, man.
Although in a 2v1 against Cappy and Blackbeard, that's it's going to be quite a challenge.
Yeah, no, it really is. Blackbeard is also playing like right outside the window, so he hasn't even committed very far into the house itself. He's just holding a very safe position for now, I want to say, as he do recover the diffuser.
And then they get almost a perfect health trade, but it's still going to favor the Blackbeard and the Capitao. And with 40 seconds left, this should be doable.
Yeah, mind you, he was actually completely flashed out there in that moment, so he decides to go prone, but again, time is of the essence. Oh, the round's almost hitting their mark, and there it is. As he pops around that corner, Blackbeard is going to take that home.
There is a fun little fact that a lot of people don't know. You can shoot straight through that wall, even though there's a big cupboard on the other side that looks like you can't shoot through.
This little one there? Or
No,
the one
from the big window into generator room. You can shoot straight through that over the bomb, and you do almost like swapping just a sidearm to move, then swap back to your main gun. That gives you the speed boost again.
Yeah.
Or even just take off your shield and go for that one kill because people won't expect the movement speed difference.
Again, calculated risk play.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of that here at all.
That's one of the places where if you pull it off, you look like a genius, but if you mess it up, you look kind of like an idiot.
Yeah.
And
I mean, isn't that kind of what Rainbow Six is about, though? Like,
yeah, that's
to a
probably
certain
every
degree when it
competitive
boils
play.
down to it. Like, so many of these different plays, like a brave peak can just really make it or break it. Now, you can see it right there. That might be able to get the first pick. Yes, it is going to be Bingo with one. Could maybe make that two. But he's identified that Jaeger actually.
Choosing to leave there is a really, really good play. Because Ash doesn't have control of anything. Although Sledge coming in from kitchen, getting the frag and Jaeger there.
They close the vice, man. You're sort of holding back, and I kind of like that they're fanning out now. There's one going all the way up into towards the tower. I think that's where they're actually going to be bringing the user.
Both teams putting a lot of effort on the whole attic meet.
Oh wait, where did that shot come in from? Mira goes down. I think that 4v1 now. It's all up to Smoke. He's got all of his grenades to work with, so in that sense he could buy time, right? But does at least make that a little bit more doable. 1 versus 3. But you can see, look at this crossfire that they have around this site.
He's being forced to throw smokes a little bit early, which might make this a lot harder for him. As soon as the bomb is down, it's going to be almost impossible for him to win.
He can hold it together. Doesn't even trade HP there. He only ends up on the losing side of that. The shield absorbing those rounds for Blackbeard. That's a very good smoke towards the man on the window, and he does catch out one, so it does make that a 1v2. But the flank around now, Blackbeard is falling back, and I think this is a wise thing to do, as this is going to force Smoke to realign his position. And again, they're holding this position outside from the window. It is going to be Sledge, but he doesn't need to move.
No, which he did not. That was a good defense. Blackbeard being a little bit peaky there, putting a bit of pressure on, but then again, he'll break his shield before he dies, and then he can fall back. Sledge having the crossfire.
So 1-1 now between these two teams. And I mean, are we seeing any big stand-up performances from? Do you think just yet, or is, I mean, it's just kind of feeling.
The only thing that really, I wouldn't even say surprised me, but they're both going for an addict take on top floor, which is not something we've seen all that much anymore. But it seems to work, so maybe they've found what works against the upstairs hold, the one we see so much. This is good to see, though. A meeting hold from, playing basement, but with actually playing in meeting and fighting over that. Now the question is if they're going to open up the hatches in meeting, or play them soft, or reinforce them and then stand their ground in there.
Yeah, have we seen the mirror windows go down in that little side room as well?
No, but they're going to go down. One in bricks, that's almost 100%, and one looking into the hallway to Big Tower. I'll be very surprised if we see anything other than that.
Because that's what we always see them, so.
And you see some of the holes that were made in and above the laundry hatch there. They are only there so mirrors charges can be shot from attic. But just having the holes up there might even force them to try and either drone it out fully above or actually get control of it. Which can waste a little bit of time for free, especially if you don't play up there. Sometimes making a setup and not using it is not enough to get the attacking team to want control over it.
Yeah, because it'll. I mean, that is a little bit of a fake out.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. But it's just if you leave some of the rotate holes open, you don't get an audio cue from a new impact grenade being thrown because the holes are already there. So you need to leave a drone, someone on the drone, or a guy in a gun covering it.
So it sort of diverts resources away from like attacking the actual bomb sites themselves. Which, you know, again, is like a very small, interesting detail here that I think that.
But you're also spending resources on it, right? And it's
yeah, I know exactly.
It's not free.
Like grenades and stuff. See where they decide to take this one as Antaya now on attack. Haven't really done. Oh wait, actually, that is going to be the first one coming through. Make that too. Youngi's going to find a kill with that frag grenade. Frozen taking down Bingo as well. Now this allows Hibana to just open things up through the central hallway.
And this is one of the deceiving bomb sites where right now they're running the almost a perfect setup to counter it, but if you don't have Thatcher, Hibana, and Capitao, dealing with the mirror, or in this case, the smoke playing behind the mirror in here, becomes almost impossible.
I think that Mira actually spotted that Sledge on top of that hatch as well. I think he maybe saw like the elbow or part of the shoulder. So they have
5 attackers right outside the hatch.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, knows exactly where at least 2 of them are now. But it's going to be tough, right? Because they should have tools to flush them out. Now, like that little room that Mira is playing in, I think that from what I've seen, it can kind of work both ways. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword because if you get trapped in there with a grenade or something like that,
or the molly.
Yeah, exactly. Then you know that could be a disaster.
This is the exact reason you bring the Capitao, is to lock the smoke in so he can't peek out and smoke. But you gotta go for your plant when you do it, or it's not gonna help.
Yeah, there it is. The strength of Capital, man, coming through. And it's all up to Mira now. Low on HP, goes down in the end. And that's a flawless round from attacking side. Not losing a single operator.
And then we see like some of the situational play with Capital, where on a basement attack he is. I'm not gonna say key. You can definitely win without him.
But it
just
really
makes
helps, right?
So much easier. Yeah, I'd almost say it's like playing without a Thermite or a Hibana, playing the basement sake.
I mean, you saw that. Just use them to flush him out.
Yeah, you can also just smoke it off, but when you smoke it off, you don't remove their ability to do something. With Capital, you make them not able to do what they want to do. Sure, they can see that you're planning, but it doesn't matter if they can't peek out for your C4.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they physically can't stop you, then what does it even matter?
Whereas when you smoke out, what you hope for is that you plant in a spot that they don't see for. So for example, you smoke off the entire mirror window, you drop and you plant right below the hatch, because then they're always going to end up throwing the C4 too far.
Yeah.
Or you plant on the far left side behind the
hope that they throw over to the right.
Yeah.
But
then it becomes a gamble.
Yeah, exactly, and then you're still within the risk zone. Like, so if they get a little bit lucky with that, then it like
or even if they just miss throw. It could be just as much as Mira just missing her C4 and then accidentally killing the guy on the opposite side, right?
Yeah.
Because she can't see what she's doing, so the lineup might be difficult. But when
you're
you put Molly in
absolutely
there, there's just no option. You can't peek or you're gonna die.
Yeah. So I mean, Capital would just be is generally just a more consistent way to pretty much guarantee that you'll have a more clear advantage in that kind of take, especially if you have a numbers advantage that obviously amplifies the strength of having that kind of setup.
Otherwise, you'd normally see someone try and drop the hallway hatch to go in and put pressure on B while you're going for the plant, because then if people focus too much on the laundry plant, your Ash or whatever 3-speed or someone who drops in the hallway can pick off some free kills because they're too busy doing other stuff. But then again, then you start relying on the enemy team making mistakes, and you should never plan your setup or your strat around them making mistakes. Everything should be planned around them playing the theoretical perfect game, right?
I mean, that's what both teams are striving to do.
Yeah, and then you have the favor if they make a mistake, well then your job just becomes that much easier.
Yeah. Now, talking about this defensive setup, it's nothing too unexpected, really. Ela added into the mix here this time.
Yeah, there seems to be like 3 ways to hold top floor. There's one where you play like really heavy on top floor around the bomb sites itself, and you just stack a lot of people there, and let's call that a turtle. And then you have one where you play and try and keep control of kitchen, and by having kitchen you kind of have control of white stairs, you kind of have control of laundry stairs, and you have control of the base of kits, where you can shoot up through the holes in the windows. If there's anyone repelling on kits' windows, you can pick those off from kitchen. So you smoke making the holes here for Jaeger now, so you can see through the windows. Then you have your
First blood drawn there with Hibana going down, and I mean that's a great pick, right, to start things off.
Yeah.
Because again, that's going to be one of those hard breaches taken out of the equation.
But also changes the opportunity they had of an attic take.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Oh, that's actually a really good peek coming out from Frozen on Mira, just popping really quickly up over a window and then just putting around into the man she had caught in the crossfire. Make that all of a sudden 5 versus 2, 2 versus 4 now, as that is going to be a little bit of an equalizer, but the numbers game now still heavily favoring Quantaya here on the defense. And I mean, with these men lost, they only have Sledge as the only man who can actually hard breach through, but that is of course going to expose him, and it looks as if Renix should be able to get that kill. Not going to go down just yet, but I mean, Quantaya now in a dominating position, but as I say that, at least find a reply frag, so 2v3 now.
Thatcher managing to get a kill with no HP. He has none. A double smoke kill. That's it's not every day you see that.
Caught in the corridor, as you can see.
Both
and the wire as well.
Yeah.
Because he has to run through 2 sets of wires.
I mean, Thatcher would have died from the first tick, but Sledge mainly died because the wire wasn't removed.
That's so annoying, man. But
that's also one of the things about losing your operators early. If you start losing, especially with something like Ash, Sledge, or anything with nades, you gotta kind of work out how much you need to remove on site for your execute, and like build your strats backwards. So if you want to plant in kids' room and you want to go through the corridor to get there, well, you need all the wire removed, but you can't afford to go and hunt all the roamers first and then hope that you have enough left to remove the wire later. So sometimes you want to go close to site and like kind of scout it out, maybe even pre-plan it, get some of the wire removed, throw some nades in, and then go and hunt the roamers or block them off. Get those killed and then come back and attack the site again. It's not something we see very often, but some of the top teams are pulling that off.
Yeah, but I mean, when you've already lost 3 team members like that,
yeah, then it becomes impossible. You don't have anything to remove that wire, right? Sledge can't walk out in the hallway and remove it, so he needs to nade it. And if you're walking in a hallway through wire, they're gonna peek and they're gonna pre-fire you, and it's not gonna be one guy, it's gonna be 2.
yeah.
And you're gonna die.
I don't know why, but that just ended on such a somber note. You're gonna die. Nonetheless,
Like
again,
Valkyrie though.
yeah, we're seeing Valkyrie added into. We've seen it on every single map actually.
Yeah, I think this comes
So
a little bit
far-
down to some of the meta thing.
Like
They're getting a quick peek here on
in several rounds. In
on
fact.
Thatcher. But yeah, so Valkyrie used to be played always on Oregon. There was never a round where you didn't have a Valk. Then people started playing IQ every round. And then people stopped playing Valkyrie because all the cams were getting taken out. Like, you normally put them outside to get info of where they were going to attack from. And then you just have 2 operators evening each other out. Then you don't want to waste time having your Valk. Then you can have another operator that's stronger if you're not relying on the cameras. But here we never see an IQ pick, so the Valkyrie camps might really help them out.
Yeah, I mean, especially so with a man advantage as well. It's worth mentioning here.
Yeah, another note is that like Valkyrie only really helps once your first guy dies, because that's the only time you have someone that can really dedicate all their time to be on camera.
So in a sense, she's kind of like null at this stage.
Well, you often see people play rather aggressive until the first death.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
play a
yeah. Like what I mean is that.
She doesn't give you a lot because you don't want to sit on site and be on a camera.
Yeah, exactly. So she's only another gun at this stage.
Exactly. You gotta remember, if you're sitting on site, oh, the wall banger almost going through there. If you're sitting on site and on camera, you need someone to cover you. Otherwise, someone might jump in and just push you, so you can't be on cam for all your roamers and stuff.
No, that's very important point.
Becomes stronger the first death you have on the.
Yeah. Okay, but already one. Without a single trade actually coming through right there. Again, it might be another one of those flawless rounds, but no. Will get the kill there. It is going to be Frozen. And actually remember this. I don't know why I just stuck with him, but he did play Blackbeard quite consistently in the first season of the Nordic Championship, so it's kind of good to see that he's at least sticking to his roots, and of course that makes you happy. But 4v1 now, and it's all up to this Hibana. I don't know if she's going to be able to pull that one through. Does make it a 1v3, and she's got a fair amount of HP to work with. Got 2 of her Hibana charges as well, so does have a few options, but right now it's just so tough. With 22 seconds left, I don't know if I actually see her pulling this one off.
No, especially not when you start seeing Mira having the respect and discipline to fall back to side.
Yeah, no.
She peeks it and she goes, maybe I shouldn't. She falls back there holding a 3-way crossfire.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, this is pretty much perfectly played out here. You can see it right there. She's just going to walk straight into her death through that window. And again, you know, I'm really glad you bring that up, dude, because just like we saw in the technically the first game between Be Legit and Motion Gaming, we're seeing a similar kind of discipline in some of these rounds. So like towards the ends of these rounds, where you don't necessarily have to go for the engagement. You can just sort of play back and then play on time.
I think at this level and above, aim and pure skill has less effect on the round outcome than teamwork. Because no matter how good you are at shooting, you're never going to shoot 2 people holding a crossfire. You can't. They're not going to miss an entire mag on you, right?
No. Defenders protect your bombs from being defused.
And
I mean, they shouldn't.
Yeah. Sure, it'll happen once out of, 100 times, but in your so-called EV+,
You say that, but you haven't seen me play, man. No, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Being a good player is, of course, going to well, being amazing at aiming is of course going to help you in your individual gunfights, your clutches.
But I mean, that only goes so far. Right?
Yeah, you can't out aim your way through a good setup. You have to
10 seconds to go.
counter it, outsmart it, or use your gadgets, your teammates to work your way through it.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that I like so much about Rainbow Six Siege, is that like it's such a team-focused game, even more so than a game like Counter-Strike, which is otherwise been hailed as the, the team
Well, I mean,
shooter.
even in CS, if you have a two-way crossfire, you're not going to find a guy that walks in and shoots one to his left and then one all the way to his right before they shoot him. It shouldn't ever happen.
Yeah, no, but there are so many aspects as to how you can employ teamwork in different ways.
Yeah.
Like you have the basic, like you described, like having a crossfire and then like a refragger. But then you also have the way that you can couple different operator gadgets,
like
and stuff
smoke
like that.
behind a mirror window.
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
Like
Like so, you can do so many interesting and dynamic things here in this game. But nonetheless, it is going to be this basement hold, and they are doing pretty much the standard setup,
Yeah.
right? So
fully standard, absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. But there's a good reason for that. It is probably the single best.
yeah, and of course, because it is the basement defense, you can see that they have got Capitao added into the mix for this one.
Yes, that's good to see. I also like them taking the chance with Ying here, even though it's like a little bit finicky if it works or not, because you need to remove a lot of stuff. You need to really plan your setup. But if you can manage to drop 2 smokes down in front of the hatch, roll a Candela, both to the right into laundry and one to the left into the hallway, you can often get away with just dropping straight down the hatch and planting.
And as well, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you could also couple that with Capitao. That you force them out using his like bolts, and then you roll in a Candela, and then from there, like you can make it a straight up execute down the stairwell itself.
This is a very smart play by the attackers there. Capitao burns in Jaeger, so he can't move. Gives Ash time to open up the wall and hold the crossfire. They know he has to be there because he was mollied out and get picked off with absolutely no issue from Ash.
Well, there will be a small trade coming in at least, and Frozen is going to pick up 1 there. So there's also Mira pardon me, that's Mira still in the game. As Smoke again, he's just sitting behind the Mira window.
Well, that is a fair trade, having lost Sledge for Mira and for Ella and Jaeger. So that's both of your roamers gone, and now they can work in their execute.
Yeah, and especially so because they still have Capitao in the play. They also still have Hibana, but she has used all of her ex-Kairos, so that is kind of out of the picture. But I still think she's done enough, right?
Now they have to go for this plant while the molly is up.
Oh! That's actually a lot of damage dealt, just stuck in that corner.
Yeah, you can see how fast that Capitao exfixate.
Look at the HP here on Smoke.
Yeah.
It's so low. That's
Ash taking a little chance there just to try and pull some time so they can get the plant off, but it works out in her favor. Getting a trade there is perfectly fine.
Yeah, because they still have the man advantage, and now in the post plant,
she basically makes herself seen just to keep them focused on her. It's fine if she dies. That means they get the plant off and they have their after plan.
So it's just a more long-term play, and it pays off.
If she gets the kill, she keeps fighting on and she keeps pushing, and then it basically just starts adding up. And if she dies, well, then at least she's burnt one guy's focus. We already know where the guy or the smoke is going to be, right? He's going to be behind the window, locked in there.
Yeah.
If anyone's shooting and fighting at her, that only leaves one other guy to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can sort of like through just like deducting where they've had control coming through towards the site itself, can sort of figure out roughly where he's going to be or where he's going to be coming from, and you can see that like coming through the.
But sometimes pushing to your death, if so to say, is definitely worth it, because the time you're gaining or the having your opponent be where you are can be enough for you to win that round.
Because what you can sort of see in that sense is what they're doing is like they're locking down the attention and potentially a kill.
Yeah.
In that kind of forced situation, and like you pointed out, it pretty much guarantees that the bomb goes down in that regard at least. And then obviously there are different outcomes to that, but you can still afford taking the lesser trade in that kind of situation because it guarantees the bomb, and then in the post plant you can't really do much, and you can see it right there. They just completely annihilated.
As soon as you get the plant down, you flip the stress level, right? You're no longer the ones being pushed for time. All of a sudden it's the defenders. So trading that for one guy dying, I think that's almost always worth it.
No, yeah, 100%. It's
as long as you're set up and ready for it. I mean, a quick plant can be great, but you can also plant too quick. if you plant without having control of the area around you, without having a drone set up and all of that, it's not necessarily worth it because they might collapse so fast because they panic because of the time restraint getting on them.
Yeah, and then they just catch you with your pants down and
yeah.
it's over. I mean, it's definitely a thing that we see reoccurringly. So, like, in many different games, we have these kind of objective-based game modes.
Now we see
it has discipline in that. So.
Now we see a 3-man room though, which is.
Wait, oh, that's actually very different. Because we've only had like 1 or 2 at best.
This is more of a last season thing.
Okay, but like, what is it that changed it between going from 3 to 2?
Well, when you play 3 and you play super spread out, you have the first guy who dies. You basically send your 2 other roamers there, or that is the ideal scenario. You have one guy fighting until he dies, and then you send your other 2 roamers there to block off the progress that they've otherwise made. Because then you actually get something out of your roam.
Is the idea also part of that? They think that they've killed one of your 2 roamers?
No, because the basement is really easy to drone out. You should almost always know how many are upstairs and downstairs. You might not know where they are. That is a great angle, though, into the kitchen. We don't see that used a lot.
And that's going to be the opening kill. That's Ayla taken out of the equation here on defense. And, of course, she has time and time again here in the Nordic Championship shown to be a very potent operator. Obviously so, like in many of these clutch situations, she has been the one to pull us through.
Yeah. But that all comes into, like, operator job, if you could describe it that way. Some operators are just better at different things, right? Like a Smoke is amazing at a late round clutch, so is a Mira for playing on site. But Ella is like the clutch king in terms of roaming and coming back to site and mowing people down.
So it's a nice pick, but there will be an equalizer coming through. 4 versus 4 now. 30 seconds left on the clock. They have to pull the trigger on this one. Diffuser has not gone down just yet.
And with Bandit getting that kill, that confirms that he's still roaming over there. And they lost their hold on him, which means that now they gotta dedicate someone to watching him.
Yeah, they're so pressed for time. 4 versus 3 now. Just Brennick's doing a great job in buying time. He will end up falling. 4 versus 2, 2 versus 3. As the equalizing kills are coming through, but with that you can see the smoke was there. They tried to go for the bomb plant behind the box down the stairwell, but there was just too much pressure. And again, like you pointed out, having that one man roaming around, you could see that they were feeling so uneasy on even making the entry onto the site itself.
Especially when he then gets a kill, like it all stacks up so fast.
Yeah.
Compared to having one on site getting a frag. We see Bingo with a tin case so far.
That's actually
really
sick. But a great defense nonetheless there from New Meta.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that uncommon having 3 roamers on Oregon, but it's a big difference having 3 or 2. There is a huge meta difference in terms of how you should attack it and how you should deal with it. Some teams choose to just like completely rush the construction level or go tower, or they'll open up the main door and open up tower, and they'll hold the returns back to site. So they basically try and swap the roamers from being the ones providing pressure to being the ones that have to get back to site to help. So they leave 2 guys, you know, to cover the retreat, and then they have 3 guys pushing site, because then you're still the favorable number. You're fighting 3v2.
So it becomes like a reverse take.
Yeah, because as soon as you know how many are on site, you should be able to determine how you want to attack. If we go to something like let's say they're playing 1 on site, they play 4 roamers, and they have the hatches open in meeting. You know that as soon as you start pushing meeting, they're going to drop back to site, and you haven't gained anything. They've burned a lot of time because you don't want to just push through full YOLO. They're going to burn a lot of time. They're going to be difficult to handle, and the second they drop down, you've reset back to square 1. You've only just done your normal take, right, or your normal control.
Reloading. A bomb has been located.
4v2 though. Oh, 4v3.
Yeah,
4 to 3 is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, they only need to take this 1 round. But I kind of like that we have a little bit of a shift in terms of the positions there. We did see that we had Ayla up in the watchtower. So not really going for any of those aggressive peaks, but at least there is going to be a different position. We haven't had anyone play up there just yet in this game, I believe. So
that was a good... Oh, I thought that was a pre-fire. That was Smoke taking him out with a shotgun from above.
Oh, man. Yeah, he was definitely not ready for that one. See if he can follow up with a second. They have knocked one man down in the kids' room, but back
That was
up.
a good read from the defenders that they were going for an aggressive kitchen take, and then just dedicating enough resources to fight that, and then fall back and play your normal defense afterwards.
Yeah, so no big overextensions or anything, just
No.
like that.
Also,
At least on their part.
Smoke just ignoring the windows for that or time being, because he knows Ella was up in the big tower. If anyone repelled up, she could deal with it. The great thing about playing up in the big tower as well is you can be up there and not do anything for 2 minutes straight, and you've still done a lot because they don't know where you are.
Yeah, exactly. They're staying hidden, and then like especially so if it becomes a high pressure situation where it's like a 2 men left for the attacking team.
You can see even in Siege, sometimes you don't know. And in rank we don't have, or sorry, in competitive we don't have points, right? As you do in rank. So when you down someone through a wall, you don't know. If you're 1v3, but 2 of them are downed, you feel like you got an impossible fight ahead of you because you don't know those 2 are downed.
Okay, no, that's actually a really important detail there. Frozen did go down, by the way, knocked out, and then eventually dies. But now buying some time with Smoke. 45 seconds left on the clock. Remember, this is match point here for the attacking team. Oh, getting a knife kill. Up close and personal. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. Nothing beats cold steel at the end of the day. But now time is ticking, and will manage to hold it down, make that a 3v3, a 3v2 in favor of new meta.
Still more than doable for the defenders.
Oh man, dude, that was a great Candela. They perfectly flashed out. He's gonna go down 2v1 now.
Ella has the diffuser though.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. In the stairwell, how are they gonna recover?
Had the diffuser. She chose to take a chance and
backed off there
a little bit.
And that might have been the crucial mistake here.
Yeah.
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
Has been planted now. Spots one out.
Ledge did not see her go through, but it is GG.
That could have been the start to something beautiful, but
that was very close. He just sees her shoulder going to the right there.
The information as well coming from the teammate just got killed. I mean,
yeah.
pretty much like locks it in, right? But
having that, like, it's great with communication and all that, but sometimes getting the info, you know, half a second is enough that she's already killed you.
Like it can even be something like super vague, like just like there.
Yeah.
Because then like you should know that that is in like relatively close proximity. So
like in a situation like that, he'd hopefully just yell "me" or something.
Yeah.
Like the shortest word of saying he's right where I am.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it is going to be a 5-3 victory there.
Yeah.
For new meta, but Quantaya again, like
both
they did
showing
some promise, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting as well to see a few switch ups, like having Capitao added into the mix, like rightly so when they were expecting a basement defense. And
yeah, I think this is one of the games where the operator picks really showed that what the teams wanted to do, and it really worked out for them. Both teams really benefited a lot of Capitao for their attacks, and didn't try to reinvent anything. This works. It's tested. Everyone knows it's good, and sometimes sticking with that is the right thing.
I mean, they're tried and tested.
Yeah.
So I guess it's part of the standard for a reason, right?
Yeah. Until someone finds
something better,
a way of not playing that mirror wall that way, then Capitao will be great for attacking basement. And he's not a bad operator for attacking top floor either, or any side for that matter. Just a lot of the times you'd prefer to have more nades. Capitao lost his nades back when IQ and
they patched that then.
Yeah, they reverted some gadget, or not reverted, they traded some gadgets around.
Okay.
So that makes him a little bit more situational than he used to be. He used to be almost a stable pick.
It's interesting to follow the development of like what operators we see on different takes. And
changed the game immensely.
Yeah, but like it keeps it very dynamic.
Yeah, just moving a C4 from, like, if you go all the way back, Smoke used to have a C4. He used to have an ACOG on his SMG11. Impact nades didn't exist.
But this is way back.
Changed so much, yeah. But it's good to see this like forced change, because whether people like it or not, when you play competitive, you just have to adapt.
Yeah.
That forces a new way of playing, a new meta, and it makes it so the game isn't the exact same all the time.
Yeah, because then it goes stale, and then like it's. But it's a great way to keep things exciting, and I think another really good thing that they're doing is adding in new operators.
Yeah.
Because that too shakes up everything, right?
Yeah, that basically breaks the entire game.
Yeah,
for a
but
week, and then
I
people
really
have
like
to
it
try
as
and
well
figure
because I
out
mean,
how
like
to
I
do it.
said before, you have a wide variation of different nationalities represented, and like even if you don't play at that like top level, like for me, I'm really excited for the South Korean operators.
Yeah.
I'm really keen to see what they're gonna have. And
It also adds, it just adds something new. Even if you don't play competitive, you play it every day. Just having something new come in is nice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like I said, I can't wait to see what they're gonna be. And especially so, like, because I'm a big gun guy, I really want to see what guns they're going to be armed with.
It's going to be good.
I'm hoping for something like domestic, because that's kind of cool.
I know nothing.
K11. Looking at you, Ubisoft. But that's going to be a wrap anyway for tonight, man.
Yes.
Just give me your final thoughts on both of these games that we had, and then I'm going to leave you with a final word.
Well, before I do that, I'd like to thank Estrella and Compen and Sandus for helping us out here. Without them, it wouldn't be a thing.
Good point. But now, final word. Let's
on
go.
the games, great games. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, guys.
Take care.
Nu har det blivit lättare. Lättare att få high score. Lättare att kolla på en match. Lättare att chilla. Lättare att gilla. Lättare att plöja en hel säsong. Och framförallt, ännu lättare att njuta av den goda smaken. Estrella lättare. Mindre fett. 100% god smak.
What if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games,